Hey, what up, everybody? It's Moss coming to you with another modern video. And this week, we're playing Storm. Now, I am super new to this deck, and I'm playing it on the recommendation of a couple people on Discord. So, I figured, okay, let's try this out. Now, for those of you who haven't seen this deck before, pretty straightforward deck. You want to slam a Ral Monsoon Prodigy, a Ruby Medallion on the table, something to reduce the cost of your spells, and then you want to play just a bunch of good ritual effects, so stuff like Desperate Ritual, Pyretic Ritual, and finish your opponent off with a Grape Shot with a huge number of spells on the stack because of the Storm mechanic, which copies a spell with it for as many cards that you've cast before it. We want to ideally get ourselves to like a storm count of like 10 to 12, and then cast something like Past in Flames, Grape Shot, get a bunch of triggers there, and then just go through the motion and do it all again. It's a really sweet line. Now, this deck is really all in on just going for a Grape Shot win. Unless we're casting something like Wish, which lets us look for any card that's in our sideboard and cast that too. This is basically a guaranteed way for us to find another Grape Shot if ours gets removed from our main board, or another copy of Past in Flames, or a couple of our other good win cons. Stuff like Empty the Warrens, another good Storm spell, but it lets us get 2 Goblins for each instance of Storm. Or Flage as just a really good way to finish the game that isn't necessarily the traditional game plan. There are lots of different ways that you can build the Storm sideboard. This particular version that won a Modern Challenge earlier this week runs 4 of Orum's Chant just to stop your opponents from casting spells on your turn, or to stop them from casting spells on their turn if you're bringing these in the post-board matches. Stops the Amulet Titan deck from attacking you and going off and doing their whole thing, which is pretty sick. And it's also running Valakut Awakening. It's a really good way to dump a bunch of spells that are kind of useless from your hand. Let's say you get to the mid game and you're just drawing things like these Artist Talents or a bunch of Past in Flames. It's a good way to just dump those back into the deck and then draw a bunch more cards. And it also functions as a land on the back, which is kind of sweet too. Honestly, I've played a couple of like practice matches with this deck and I really enjoy it so far. The version I was running previously had some interesting cards like Urabrask and Pyromancer's Ascension, which are really surprisingly decent cards, but they can be a little bit clunky. This deck seems a little bit more lower to the ground. The curve smooths out around the 2-drop slot really well. So let's see if this does well in a modern league. And like always, don't forget to like, subscribe to the channel, engage with it. Alright, let's boost these numbers up so that hopefully we can start making some money off of this and doing some bigger and better things, even maybe upgrading our stream setup. Who knows? But until then, I'll see you guys in match number 1. Alrighty, so match number 1, and we're going to be on the draw, which is probably not the best spot for this like Ruby Storm deck to be in, but we can make it work. Okay, we do have a cost reducer. We've got a bunch of lands. We've got a Pyretic Ritual. I don't hate this. We don't really have a way to like turn 2 right now. Ooh, we're playing against Mono Black. Alright, so that's fine. Well, yep. Alright, there's the Thoughtseize. So they're going to take our Medallion, which is about what we could expect. And we're really just going to hope that we can find a Ral off the top here, which would be sick. The good news is they can't really interact with our board a whole lot. Besides us maybe hitting a Ral here. I mean, yeah, we'll put that on top. I do like the idea of just going impulse here and then hoping that we can... Oh, perfect. All right, so we got Ruby Medallion next turn. Okay, they cling to dust. Sign in Blood. Ooh, okay. Okay, big, big. We might not be dead. So we're just gonna play this Ruby Medallion and pass. On their end step, we can... Don't Thoughtseize us again, opponent. Don't Thoughtseize us again. You don't have any way to deal with this. Sign in Blood again. Maybe they're mono black Death Shadow? I don't know. I don't know what our opponent's doing. They could just be a wild and crazy dude. Alright, Surveil. We keep Ral on top of the library. Hot dog. Double cost reducer's pretty sick. And they discarded a fatal push. Let's go. Alright. So now we will glimpse. Alright. Storm count's 2. We need to ideally get the storm count to like 8. Yeah, because Ral comes in with 2, and when he flips... Alright, so we're going to flip Ral. Or at least try to flip Ral. Alright, heads. We lost the flip. Let's do it again. Heads. We won the flip. Yes, we would like to use Ral's ability. Heads. We lost the flip. That's fine. Ooh, okay. Okay, love this. Love this for us. So we're going to plus Ral, make everything cheaper this turn. We've got Wish and a Valakut Awakening. We're going to cast this Valakut Awakening for 1, discard both of those, and draw 3. Okay, we can really start to storm this turn. Let's go and play Strike It Rich. Let's go heads. We won the flip. I don't think we're gonna flip just yet. That's 8. Yeah, we can't flip him just yet. We'll happily flip him again if we can do it once more. Heads. Nope. So we'll make a bunch more mana. We will wish. We will use it for heads. We won the flip. Yes, we will flip this new Ral. We'll keep the one that's at 9. We're going to wish for a... I think we have to wish for a Past In Flames. And let's just make sure we read Wish. You may play a card you own from outside the game this turn. So we can look at our graveyard or look at our exile pile. So we've got our sideboard there. We got this pile here. And then we're just going to cast all of these without paying their mana costs. We're going to make a massive storm count. We're going to make a bunch of mana. The deck's doing its thing. It's going off. We're just flying by the seat of our pants here. Not really knowing what we're doing. I mean, we're basically in a position where we are guaranteed a win. I mean, you know what? Let's just go ahead and level this up. Because why not? Why not? All of our spells are cheaper. Yeah, we'll discard that. Okay. And then we will do this. Storm count is at 18. We're not going to discard. We'll cast Strike It Rich. Storm count is at 19. And then Grape Shot our opponent's face. We cast a whole lot of spells for us to do a lot of things. Alright, so now we have made a massive storm thing, and we're just going to target our opponent, and our opponent scoops it up. They saw what we were doing. Who, buddy? Alright. So, that was a very interesting match. Now we have to figure out what exactly it is that we want to do against mono black something. So these prismatic endings seem really good. Our opponent has very few ways to interact with our board besides Fatal Push and their Soul Spikes. There was so much that went on in that game. Strike It Rich is really good so that we can potentially turn 2. Artist Talent doesn't feel that great because we're not necessarily doing a whole lot with it. And I could maybe see cutting a copy of Glimpse here. It's either Glimpse or Strike It Rich. One of those two has to go. Personally, I want to say it's just cut a Strike It Rich. That way we have our 3 Prismos. And then we'll say go. Ooh. Ooh, this is a potentially really good one. We've got Gemstone Caverns in hand. We need to draw an extra land. It's so close. I think we got a mull, though. And here it is. A really good hand. A potential turn 2. I think we have to keep this one. We'll put back a Glimpse the Impossible. So, what we have to do here is avoid any interaction with our hand. We have to go turn 1 Arid Mesa into a Strike It Rich. Man, I really wish we didn't draw that Elegant Parlor now. If we can hit an untapped source here, then it's just a perfect turn 2. Almost. Okay. So, we can play Ral. And we can... It seems better to just go Pyretic into Ral, into Reckless, into Desperate potentially. Okay. Opponent's gonna try to interact with Ral at this point. Alright, we have to do this now. Heads. Dang it, we lost the flip. Heads. We won that flip. Yeah, we'll use his ability, though it does nothing for us at this point. And there's another Desperate Writ. Oh, buddy. That's so bad. I mean, honestly, we'll just cast that Strike It Rich from the graveyard, but we might be just a little cooked now. Inquo, you're not going to see anything useful in our hand, opponent. Alright, you're down to 1. Alright, we're going to Ren's Resolve. I mean, so we can cast that Pyretic Writ and get something in the yard, but I truthfully don't think that's even going to be worth it. Wish is pretty bad for us right now, too. Alright. We lose that Pyretic Writ. Necro Dominance is gross. They drew 12 cards. And they're probably going to punish our draws from this point onward. I would love for us to just hit something like a Ruby Medallion and maybe live a little bit longer. That would be nice, but I don't think we're going to be able to get that. Alright, so let's start with a Glimpse the Impossible here. Us hitting all of these fetches is not necessarily the best thing for us. Okay, so I think it's, we just play that. We play this here. We put 2 cards in exile. Pyretic and Manamorphose. Those are decent cards for us to hit. We make a dude. Alright. Opponent plays a Boggart Trawler. They're going to exile our graveyard and take a bunch of good things out of it. And a Dothy Voidwalker. Interesting. Well, bad news is our opponent can potentially cook us this turn. We might be so dead. Alright, we've got a Mountain, Sacred Foundry, and just 2 fetches? 3, 4, 5, 6 lands outside of that left in our deck, so 7 lands total. I mean, we're going to take this, and I think we do just have to sack that and that. Alright. Gonna go for this. Heads. We lost the flip. Make a bunch of mana. Alright. Play Manamorphose. Opponent goes in Soul Spikes. Lost that flip too. Red. Manamorphose. We are definitely losing. Okay, Valakut Awakening. Yeah. We're going to send that away. Get 2. Play this. Can't really do a whole lot without that, though. So I think we're just going to go ahead and scoop this one up. Our opponent definitely got us there. Double graveyard hate is real bad for us to deal with. Okay. So they are definitely just mono black Necro Dominance. Those prismatic endings are nice. I mean, I can still see a world where that's fine enough for us to keep. So I think we're just going to run it back like this. Okay. Hand's fine. We'll keep. And again, we have ourselves in a real interesting position where if we had something good going on, I mean, that's fine. I think we can put that on top. Alright, Inkwell. Take Ral here, and then definitely lose some of our momentum. I think one of the bad things about this deck is the fact that we wind up so far down on clock versus a lot of our opponents. Alright, they did take that, which is a pretty good card. Okay. So there's a Desperate Ritual, which is nice. Alright, we're going to play this Bloodstained Mire. And I mean, we are put in a spot where it is a lot better for us to just go ahead and do this. If our opponent has it, they have it. And if they don't, okay, they have it. That's fine. Heads. Yeah. So I think we are just going to Valakut Awakening here. Send those to the bottom and redraw. Okay. Not the worst. I would like a cost reducer here. But Glimpse, Pyretic, Manamorph, or Sunbait Canyon. There's a lot that we can do. And I think Ruby Medallion gives us the best chance of just going off here. Because that's Ruby Medallion that. That makes 3. We'd be up to 4. Ruby Medallion or uninteracted Ral gives us the best chance. And I think with them just drawing so many cards, we're definitely not keeping a Ral on the table. So it's kind of Ruby Medallion or bust at this point. And it's so bad, but I do think it has to be Pyretic into Glimpse. Okay, well, I mean, there's a Ral. Ral's not living. By any stretch of the imagination, Ral is not living. Oh no. Opponent hits a Sheoldred. They're going to gain so much life here. Okay, so they put a bunch of Sheoldred triggers on the stack. Do they have the ability to... I mean, they gotta kill this Ral. Okay. Ral is dead. Okay. So they can go... Ooh. Alright. Let's think. So we can go Ren's Resolve, Pyretic Ritual. That's 2 used up. That's 2 more, make 3. We just need something. We can make so much mana here, but we really do need a cost reducer to make any of this useful. And it's just, I don't know if we're going to be able to live long enough without a cost reducer on the battlefield. Okay, we hit that, which feels good. We are gonna have to fetch. But what can we get in our sideboard that is good enough here? There is nothing that's good enough in our sideboard that we want. Empty the Warrens could be fine. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's 6. I mean, we can make a ton of mana. I think we gotta go for it. Alright. Let's Past in Flames. I don't think we're gonna get there, though. I think this does mean that we are mostly dead. Yeah, we're like super dead here. If we had any way to just live, then we'd be fine. Okay, do we have another one? No, we don't. Man, that really sucks. It's like Glimpse the Impossible's about the best that we can do. And it's just... yeah, there's a Reckless. And... yeah, didn't hit what we needed. Oh well. GG's opponent. You get this one. Alright. We'll see you guys in match number 2. Alright, match number 2, and we're going to be on the play. Hand's not great, honestly. If we had a cost reducer in hand, I feel like it would be much more keepable. And there's a cost reducer. So I think this hand is honestly the best that we can do. I can see a world where we don't keep like either this Manamorphose or this Glimpse. And I feel like it's the Glimpse more than anything. Alright, so we're going to start with a Scalding Tarn, pass to our opponent. Hopefully on their end step we can crack, find a good fetchable. Okay, opponent plays Beseiju and Delighted Halfling. So they're probably a Yawgmoth deck. Okay, we don't need another one. Alright. And there's like no way that we're kind of going off here. We would need a lot to very securely go off. So I think we're just going to get this Ruby Medallion down and then hope that next turn we can storm off and do our thing. Okay, Halfling getting a Vexing Bauble. Okay, so they went... oh, okay, okay. They're Basking Brood Scale combo. Now I see what this opponent's doing. Alright, let's start with a Ren's Resolve. Okay. And there is a Ral. Well, now I am very much of the opinion that we can go off. We need Storm Count to be at a minimum 8. So it's Ritual, Ritual. We won that flip. No, I don't want to use Ral. Heads. We lost that flip. Take a damage. We will use a mana. Alright. Heads. Lost that flip. Red and red. Ooh, we hit a grape shot. Okay. Let's grape shot our opponent. Alright. Gonna yield heads this row. We won the flip. No, we would not like to use it. Same targets, same targets, same targets, same targets. Alright. Wish. Heads. We won the flip. No, we would not like to use that. Alright, we're going to get a Past in Flames. Cast the Past in Flames. Heads. We won the flip. Sure, we'll flip this route. Okay. And now we Pyretic, we Desperate, we Ren's Resolve, we Manamorphose, we make red. Okay, opponent scoops it up. They see what's about to happen. Let's go. Alright, so our opponent is on the Basking Brood scale weird creature combo list. So honestly, bringing in these prismatic endings again seems really good. Artist Talent is probably the weaker card. We want to keep in these Strike It Riches because we want to be fast. But there's so little that we want to interact with. And again, we're maybe at the point where it's just like cut the Glimpse the Impossible and run it like this. It seems like Brotherhood's End is going to stay in our sideboard most of the time, unless we're playing against like a Corey Steelcutter deck. And even then, like Silence, Orum's Chant, those are better cards against that deck anyway. So yeah, we're just going to hope. Okay. 3 Past in Flames, a Wish, a Ruby Medallion, a Ral. No other cards. This hand is terrible. We got them all. Wish we had a mana reducer, but we'll take what we can get. We'll keep, and we will send probably the Sunbaked Canyon back. Probably the Sunbaked Canyon. Opponent did mold a 6. Or no, we mulled the 6. Opponent capped everything they had. Alright, opponent goes Ancient Stirrings. What do they get? And they put us up to 21, which is kind of sweet. Okay, they get an Eldrazi Temple. Past in Flames is our draw for the turn. Not a terrible one. I'm just going to play that Arid Mesa and pass. Now, opponent's probably going to go Eldrazi Temple. Malevolent Rumble. Alright, they got Beseiju, Ballista, Ballista. They chose Beseiju. I don't know if I would have done the same. Okay. Well, the problem is our opponent could go for a very real, like, next turn. Okay. So, what's our opponent got to do? I mean, truth be told, I think we do just have to play this Ral out here and hope that we get there. I'm really hoping. Because Valakut Awakening or Valakut Stoneforge is going to enter tap no matter what. Opponent plays a forest, makes a single colorless mana in a green. They go for Soulless Jailer. Ooh, we can't cast non-creature spells. Okay. Alright. Heads. Lost the flip. Heads. Lost the flip. We're going to destroy this Soulless Jailer. Gonna do... Okay. Okay. Heads. Won the flip. Do we want to do anything with Raldo? The answer is no. And then I think we want to go for... Ooh, that's such a good question. So we can go for Past in Flames for 3. And then it's just Desperate Writ, Desperate Writ. I mean, yeah. Heads. Lost the flip. Pyretic Writ. Heads. Can we flip it this turn? No, not yet. We can flip it after the next one. We gotta win the next one. Heads. Lost the flip. So I do think it is. We have to go for that. Heads. Won the flip. Yes, we will flip Rao. Okay. So now we have all of those exiled. We're going to do all of these. Okay. So we hit a Manamorphose. We're going to cast that. Make red red. And then, let's see. So we have Wish. We have Ren's Resolve that we can cast without paying its mana cost. Okay. Let's play this. Let's do this. Get that. And then let's look at our graveyard, our exile pile. So we have a lot of things that we can do. I think let's just take a quick look at our sideboard. This is getting to become such a messy thing we're doing. So we can Grape Shot, Wish, Grape Shot, because we can cast this without paying its mana cost, so yeah. Yeah, so I think it's Grape Shot. And then always yield to the storm. Same targets. Golly. Okay. This has been a very thought-provoking match. And we're gonna just storm off. and hit our opponent's face. And doing that, same targets, hitting your face for like 12. All right, sick. And we win that match. All right, see you guys in match number 3. All right, so we are going to be on the play for match number 3. Hand is great. The one thing that I don't like is the fact that we have this gemstone caverns, and like I get it, but there's not been a single time where it has come into play. Ooh, opponent's mulliganing to 5. I don't like that. Either they're Titan or they are just struggling right now. And it's like, I want to run out this Ral on 2. Okay, well, let's see what happens. We're running out the Scalding turn. We're going to yield until the next end step. I mean, Elegant Parlor. What do we get? Ren's Resolve. I'm not even gonna lie, I really do just want to fetch this and I want to see what we can hit here. Because if we can hit, oh, there we go. Ruby Medallion's really good. Ooh, and our opponent is a frog gamer. No, they are not. They put a Solitude into the yard. They are Gorios. Oh, God. Alright. I mean, if they go frog here, they go frog. Okay, well, we're just going to cast it. Okay, so we can go Ritual, make 3, Ral have 2, Wish have 1. That doesn't seem that good. No. Let's look at our sideboard. Do we have anything spectacular in this circumstance? Not really. It's so crazy, but I do think we just kind of go for the impulse here. And then next turn it... Man. So I think we could have... We should have probably gone for the higher upside line of just Ral, Ritual, or Ral, Ritual. It's really tough. This was a very particular set of lines that we could have gone for. An opponent's gonna just go frog, swing in. It seems kind of ridiculous for them to pump it. Oh no, they're gonna pump it. Okay, they're dumping the Atraxa. Dumping another Atraxa. I mean, yeah, opponent. Emperor of Bones? Oh man, we are so hosed. Okay. Let's Ral. Alright. Storm count has to get to 7. Heads. Won the flip. Nothing there. Okay. Heads. Won the flip. Not flipping. We have 8. Casting Wren's Resolve. Heads. Won the flip. Not flipping. Bro. Well, let's wish. Heads. Won the flip. Not flipping. Okay. We have so many options. Okay, so I do think we just need to go for Orum's Chant? Just casting targeting our opponent? Yeah. Heads. Won the flip. Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4. This will be 5. Not flipping? And maybe that was a bad wish? Heads? Won the flip? Yeah, we'll flip. Dog, we have been so fortunate. Oh my goodness. All right, opponent knew that they were cooked there. What type of absolutely blessed hand did we just have? Yo. All right, so let's go ahead and... what do we want to bring in? It's honestly, we'd probably bring in like 2 of these Orum's Chants main board. Take out those artist talents, leave a couple in the side, and run it. Artist talent's really good. I don't know if I like it as a 2 of. This hand is really good too. So it's like we struggle if we don't hit a land, but we can use this to find a land drop. And then it's Ritual, Manamorphose, Reckless. I mean, there's a lot that we can do. Alright, let's yield until the next end step. Opponent goes for a Fajali Archaeology. I don't know what I'd bring back. Okay, they brought back Tainted Indulgence. I mean, they do have the ability to go for some pretty cool stuff next turn. What they cannot do is they cannot turn 3 Goryo, which is sweet. We gotta throw that into the yard because we need land drop more than we need another ritual. Never punished. Never punished. Alright, Ruby Medallion. Okay, Ruby Medallion. We're doing it. Okay. Let's Reckless. Let's Row. Let's Glimpse. Heads. Alright, so that's 5. I don't think we can do it just yet. Ah. Still hit yes. And I think it's fine that we went and hit yes. Because we can plus, we can go for a grape shot at our opponent's face here. Same targets. All right. Casual big storm. Glimpse the Impossible sent all of those things to the yard, but we got blockers. Now, what would be real unfortunate for us is if we somehow get silenced right here. Okay. All right. So, we'll play that. We will cast it without paying its mana cost. We'll yield. And her opponent scoops it up. Whew. All right. That was a sick game where our opponent couldn't interact. Love it. See you guys in match number 4. All right. Match number 4. We're going to be on the draw. If this wasn't a surveil land, this could be a turn 2 kill. I don't mind it as a turn 3, though, potentially. And if we go runner for just double untapped lands, this hand slaps. Are we playing against blue-red prowess? Yeah, it's prowess. Okay. Okay, so opponent is looking at the top card of my library. Okay. Okay. Runner. Like, play a Corey Steelcutter. Ooh, no. Don't you try to show me random things, Microsoft. Ooh, Slicky gets plotted. Ugh, so close. So close. Alright. That's in the yard. If we can live. If we can live from 16. Slicky does kind of spell our death, though. If things don't go exactly right. Okay, they go Corey. They go Slicky. That's 4, 5. Okay. Well, let's do it. It's 1. Heads. 1 the flip. No. Can't flip it. Red. We'll shock that in. Oh, man. Alright. Heads. Lost the flip. Oh, that's so bad. Red. Red. Oh, that's so bad. Won the flip. Yeah. Oh, no! No! Oh, that's so bad. That's so bad. Oh, no. We definitely just died. We definitely just died. Oh, that is horrible for us. So it's Pyretic, make 4. Wish. We go down to 2. Oh man, that's so bad. I can't believe we did that. Now we're so cooked. It's not even funny. It's just like we can go strike it rich, make 1, and then empty? Or no, not empty. We have to go like that past in flames? That grape shot? Okay, so it's grape shot. Oh, that's so bad. And I think we would have won had we not made and then I think it's just the rest at their face. Okay. I hope that they don't have a gut shot. They have a single gut shot. I think we're dead. Oh, they have mutagenic growth. We're so dead. Alright, yeah. Yeah. Alright, so prismatics come in. Artist talents come out. Glimpse comes out. And then we run it. Well, actually, steel cutters are better than these prismos. We'll do 1 prismo. And then submit it. Alright. We are going to be on the play. This hand basically does everything that we want it to. We can look for a extra land. We'll keep it. If we don't turn 2, we can potentially turn 3. But turn 2ing is so contingent on a lot of different things. Alright, so we're going to use this elegant parlor to find a land. Didn't find a land. That's bad. That is actually catastrophic for us. Okay, we might die here just because we kept these super risky hands. And if they go steel cutter into just 0 drop, it's better, but yikes. Yikes, Tormod's Crypt is huge for our opponent here. Okay. Well, I mean, good news is they can do their thing. I think we do just want to do this. There's no reason for them to even pop this Tormod's Crypt at this point either, which kind of sucks for us. Alright, Slicky doing that. Alright, they go Bobble. So, okay, so they're hitting us for a bunch. Okay. So, we're dropping to 7 here, which is really bad. We have to make sure that we can live. Alright. Heads. We won the flip. I think we have to say no to this, however. Okay. Alright, so Rin's Resolve. Alright, so Rin's Resolve. We're gonna play for this for the heads. Nope. Okay, Reckless Impulse and everything. Let's go for this. Heads. We lost. We're gonna make red. Red. We're going to Reckless. Heads. We lost. Hit 2 more lands. Reckless. Alright, opponent. What you got? Alright, we're gonna heads. We lost the flip. Can we hit some rituals? No rituals there. Alright. Reckless. Come on. Come on, heads. We lost the flip. Oh no. Alright. We have to hit it here. Heads. We lost the flip. And there's the double ritual. Yikes. Alright. We lost this one to just losing a bunch of coin flips. We could have potentially gotten there, but got the better of us. GG's opponent. See you guys in match number 5. Alright, match number 5, and we get to be on the play. Hand is not great. There's definitely some logic to keeping it, but this one feels a lot better. I really want to put back this redundant copy of Manamorphose. And then we'll just go Arid Mesa. We'll probably need to save Ral. Ooh, Ether Vial. Alright, so we are playing against put that into the grave. Extra Ral is actually kind of sick here. Now, if this opponent decides to go for the Solitude here, we definitely don't like it. But I suppose there are worse things I could do. Overlord. Alright. Let's go ahead and cast this Reckless Impulse. We will heads. We won the flip. We're not going to flip. Desperate Writ. Heads. We won the flip. No flip. Manamorphose. Heads. Won the flip. Don't flip. Red. And red. We will Reckless. Heads. We won the flip. We don't flip. Jeez. We are really just going off here. Reckless. Heads. We lost the flip. We take a damage. Manamorphose. Heads. We win the flip. We flip. Alright, we're gonna red. Play the land out. Do this. Play another Row. And then we will Superstorm. And I think we're just winning this turn. Cast it without paying. Heads. We won. Yeah, we'll flip. We need to go ahead and just zero this Row. And look at all the stuff we have. We're gonna cast this. Pretty sure we're just good to win at this point. Shuffle that away. Do that. Make some more mana. Okay, opponent scoops it up. Let's go. Love that for us. Okay, so we saw that they are the Ketramos deck. It honestly seems like we want to go for the Orm's Chance just to stop their things. And again, it just seems right to cut the artist talent here. And then we run it like that. Alright, so on the draw, this hand honestly doesn't seem that bad. We've got a cost reducer, a Past in Flames. We need a mana accelerator. That's not a mana accelerator. That kind of is. So we'll keep that there. I'd like to start hitting some Desperate Writs. Opponent just plays a... or gets a Shadowy Backstreet and bins. Oh, they go for High Noon. That's whack. High Noon is so bad against us right now. Okay. Yeah. I didn't even think about that as a card that they might be bringing in. So it just cuts off our wishes and everything. They get to Recruiter. Aven Interrupter? Yeah, that's That's fine, homie. Okay, well. Yeah, I'll put that on top of my library. Yield until the next end step. Oh, dog, that's so bad. Man, I think we're just gonna lose now. Because it's like we can't even kill most of their stuff, and they're just gonna. Yeah. I'm trying to think of how we can beat this, and I don't think we do. Yeah. We'll block. Take none. What you gonna cast, opponent? Overlord of the Baelmerk. Interesting that you did that when you could just... Okay. I mean, respect to the opponent for doing this. It's only when I cast an instant or sorcery during my turn. Yeah, that's pretty good. Everything about this is going poorly. Yeah, we cannot beat this, honestly. I think we're just going to have to scoop it up here. There's no way that we're overcoming that. Alright, so... The orange chants feel okay, but... I don't know. And honestly, this almost feels like a matchup where Flage is okay, but... I do just kind of want to go 1-1 there. Alright. I mean... We're in a spot for sure. We can keep this. We'll try it. It's just about at a turn 2. Yield until next end step. If opponent goes Deafening Silence here, I wonder how much we cry. Nile. Okay. Nile is real good. And we'll keep that on top. Let's see. Play that. Go for the mountain. Go for this. If our opponent could just crack this now for value, it would be so good. And I do think we're just going to play that tapped. I think we should have gone ahead and played the Flage there just to force them to pop that. Yeah, the more that I think about it, forcing them to pop this on the Flage would have been like the best move. Okay. So let's view our sideboard real quick. All right. I think we should just try this. Okay. Okay. Opponent is getting another planes. Are they just going for the Aven Interrupter? Okay. I don't hate that. Okay. Now we have to grape shot here. We've got to grape shot this. All right. All right, and then I think we just send everything else in the various places where they need to go. Opponent's definitely just going to do this. Okay. Are they going to pop it? Yeah. All right. So going for that. Plot. Okay. I don't hate this. So the Desperate Rid is plotted. Yield until the next end step. So Emperor. Now, what are they going to get back? Because probably going to be this Aven Interrupter. Alright, so let's go ahead and do this. Put Elegant Parlor on the battlefield. And let's go ahead and send that to the graveyard. We don't need extra lands at this point. Alright, let's play Rao. Okay. So, opponent's just going to adapt this. Now the question is, do we want to flip this Ral? And I don't think we do. So it's cast this. I do think we actually just have to cast the Valakut Awakening, which really bites. It's like we just put the Past in Flames back. We play land. We draw a card. And we lose. I don't think we're going to be able to do our thing now. Like, we need so much to make this hand work now. And the problem is, I don't think we make it work. Yep, there's an Overlord with no cards that they can return. Okay. So you're telling me there's a chance. Alright, they take the ritual out of our yard. They're not going to swing. They're going to keep up everything they have. Okay. So we'll do that. We'll pass and hope that our opponent doesn't get anything. There's a failure. And they're going to swing, blink that. Oh, well, they just push Ral. Yeah, this game just got out of our depth so quickly. Alright, so 2-3. I'll see you guys in just a second in the wrap-up. Okay, so what do we think of Ruby Storm in Modern? With a 2-3 record, the deck isn't bad, and admittedly, a lot of the problems that we're experiencing are just because we're very new to the deck. I definitely feel like in our Orzhov Blink matchup, and definitely in Mono Black, and with our loss to... really with our loss to Blink and to Izzet, we had lots of opportunities to get out of there, but just misclicking and the general problems that come with being a new Storm player definitely showed themselves. The deck is super strong, and the Strike It Rich version can turn 2 really well, and I feel like that's a huge strength to the deck. I definitely think one of the things that we could do to improve it might be to just run a few more like good Storm payoffs in the main board. So maybe running Empty the Warrens in the main, or running the new Storm Dragon out of Tarkir in the main might be good hits for us. So just doing something like taking one of these artist talents and making it just an extra Storm payoff would be enough to really change the character of so many of these matchups. But that's it for today, guys. Don't forget to like, subscribe, comment, do all of the YouTuber things so that we can grow this channel, make it something really awesome. Obviously, if you can think of a deck that you'd want me to play, let me know and I'll see how it goes. But until next time, peace.